Top royalty accused of drugging and sexually assaulting women.
Rapper, actor, and businessman Clifford T.I. Harris, along with his wife, Tamika Tiny Cottle, they're being named in a massive lawsuit. CBS 46's Barmel Lyons is live tonight in Atlanta, breaking those accusations down for us. Barmel?
Yes, that's right. Lawyer Tyrone Blackburn is going to authorities, asking and encouraging state and federal prosecutors to start a criminal investigation into T.I. and Tamika Harris, aka Tiny, on behalf of 11 accusers. 8 women alleging assault allegations against either rapper T.I., Tiny, and their associates. The other 3 including a young man who was 8 years old, his mother, as well as Sabrina Peterson, who filed a defamation lawsuit against them. Attorney Tyrone Blackburn claims the women were drugged and raped by the couple. He claims the incidents date back over a decade and many happened in the Atlanta area.
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I. For what they've done throughout the years.
The attorney is now claiming for a criminal investigation, but the rapper, whose real name is Clifford Harris, posted a video message on Instagram saying it's difficult to remain quiet.
What we're not gonna do is open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in, chime in, and make their opinions about what we do and don't do or should or shouldn't do. But I will say this, whatever we ever have done, has been done with consensual adults.
The rapper's lawyer denies the allegations and says if investigated, no charges will be forthcoming. And Blackburn says he will not release the names of the 11 accusers, but will only provide evidence to the authorities.
A lawyer representing 11 women is calling for a sexual abuse investigation into rapper T.I. and Tiny Harris. 11 women. As of now, no criminal charges have been filed against either of them. Just want to clarify that right now. But attorney Tyrone Blackburn sent a letter to state... Tyrone, gotta call Tyrone. Tyrone sent a letter to state and federal authorities in Georgia and California, alleging 11 women face, quote, sexual abuse, forced ingestion of illegal narcotics, kidnapping, terroristic threats, and false imprisonment by T.I., Tiny, and members of their entourage between the years of 2005 to 2018.
Now, what you need to understand is that these 11 women don't know each other. And the lawyer says that all of their stories were the same. They don't even know each other and they all had the same story. So this is looking very serious. And by the way, back when I was on radio, I used to tease you and say, I know a lot more about Tiny and T.I. than you think. And that was well before 2005. Just saying. Because even Northman was listening back then and you said, well, you didn't know that.
Right, I didn't know it was like this. Yeah.
I'm not talking, Devin is.
Yes, so just Tyrone said, you know, these individual claims paint eerily consistent allegations of women prior to or upon immediately entering T.I. and Tiny's home, hotel, or tour bus in which they were coerced by Tiny to ingest drugs or unknowingly administer drugs to impair the victim's ability to consent to subsequent vile sexual acts.
Would that be like Molly? Because they say when you pop it, you sweat, and then you'll have sex with anything.
Right, basically, it's something to just get their guard down, is what they're alleging. And so one of the women who came forward is a military veteran who served 5 years in the Air Force. At the time, she met them in 2005. She said she was 23. She met T.I. and Tiny at a Los Angeles club, and she was with her friend initially. Now, she claims that Tiny gave them some of her drink, and within hours, both she and her friend felt really ill and really sick. And she only had one other drink that night, which she knows is well within her tolerance limit. Okay. She says T.I. and Tiny took her to their hotel room where she claimed Tiny bathed both her and T.I., and then she said they both proceeded to rape her. Her friend had gotten sick and wasn't there. She remembers waking up naked on the couch with a towel thrown on her and security banging on the door for her to leave, and when she left, she immediately told her friend what happened the next day. Another woman says she became friends with Tiny when they were teenagers and went to work for them back around 2005. She alleges that on several occasions, T.I. forced her to take multiple ecstasy pills, just like you said, and they forced her to engage in sexual acts with different women against her will. She also alleges she personally witnessed women complaining of being kidnapped and held against their will for days at a time.
Wasn't there a room after Tiny and T.I. allegedly finished with them that they'd send them into another room with a bunch of women and force the woman that they sent in to have the sex?
That one I'm not sure, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, no, I said allegedly.
Yeah. But that may very. I mean, there are so many stories, and they are still coming out of the woodwork. The New York Times did an investigation into this.
The New York Times, that's higher than People magazine.
That's when you know it's real, right? The New York Times did an investigation into this, and even they are continually updating their story. And they did an investigation and spoke to 5 of the 11 women. They also spoke to friends and family of those women, and those friends and family corroborated that they were told about these stories soon after they happened, and the Times said that they saw text messages from 3 of the women and photos that supported the timeline of events.
The New York Times.
Yeah.
The New York Times.
This is really serious. It's alleged that the attorney is saying the women portrayed Tiny and T.I. as aggressors who use their celeb status to prey on and entrap women for sexual abuse and then threaten violence against anyone who might speak out. They also said that they initially felt safe because it was a couple, right? You hear of men being predators, but you sort of think he's married, married with a woman, so they felt safe.
It's Tiny, and she's tiny.
It's Tiny, and she's tiny, so they felt safe. And one of the women that the Times spoke to, who we mentioned earlier, that was friends with Tiny, she said she never went to the police because she was scared of what would happen to her family. So a lot of times people ask, why did you hold on to this story? But it had a lot of ripple effects for her in her life, right? And she was afraid.
Have Tiny and T.I. spoken out about this at all?
So they're both strongly denying the allegations, and we actually have a response from their attorney, and they say, Clifford and Tamika Harris deny in the strongest possible terms these baseless and unjustified allegations. We are confident that if these claims are thoroughly and fairly investigated, no charges will be forthcoming. These allegations are nothing more than the continuation of a sordid shakedown campaign that began on social media.